Hello, and welcome to our channel Pursuit of Wealth. This channel is your ultimate destination for learning about finance and wealth, investing and crypto, informational and educational trends in finance management. If you are someone who wishes to become wealthy and are looking for smart money management options, then we are fortunate to have found each other. The world of economics is vast. It has so many topics that have become the basis of the world's economy. Yet, there is nothing more detailed than the study of supply and demand. Whether you're a buyer of any product or a seller, supply and demand will always come into play because it impacts how you buy and sell things respectively. These two specifics also help determine the price at which your product will be bought. So, both of these things play a massive role in economics, making them the core of our discussion today. Supply and demand is the concept on which economics is based. The primary application of supply and demand will be a part of your daily actions and activities. Once you understand how these two things work, only after that you can understand the aspects of economics. This is because a massive chunk of supply and demand makes the more significant part of economics. Without further ado, let us get into this topic. Supply. The principle of supply and demand states that supply considers the relationship between price and the available supply of a product. It is taken from the producer's perspective of that product rather than the consumer. This is because the producer has a more significant say in the quantity, quality, and time to produce the specific object. This is why supply can be better understood if we look at it from the manufacturer's point of view. The example of producers and manufacturers here are farmers, factory workers, and people that put in their own time and effort to produce something. This is because the product is dependent upon their time and effort. When the price of a product hikes, the producers then tend to increase the quantity of the product to get greater profits for themselves. Similarly, when the prices fall, that manages to decrease production because producers cannot cover the cost of the time and effort they're putting into manufacturing that product. For example, if a company produces a television set for $400 and sells that television set for anything less than $400, then for the company, that would count as a loss. The company isn't making any extra money on that television set. Instead, more money is going out of their hands after they've sold the television. Since we are speaking of technology items, it is essential to note that tech devices and gadgets have the highest profit margins than any other product. So, it would simply be business stupidity by any company if it sells its products less than what it manufactured the product for. On the other hand, when prices hike or have increased, producers are more encouraged to produce more of the product. This is because they'll end up getting more benefit on one product, so if you multiply it by several times, then the producer manages to bag a healthy profit on the bulk of items produced. If we take the same TV example as the previous paragraph, then this would fit for the opposite state like this. If the cost of manufacturing the TV is the same as in the previous case, that is $400, then the TV is sold for anything higher than $400 to make a profit. This would give the manufacturers more profits, providing them greater incentive to manufacture more television sets. This behavior, which aims to seek maximum profits, goes on and forces the supply to increase. Since more people are earning more money off of a single television set, they usually think about why they aren't producing more than one of it. This boosts the rate of production and tells us that production is dependent on the profits coming in. If more profits are flowing in, then supply will increase automatically. In contrast, if there is a halt on profits or if the company is losing, these products should not be manufactured. An assumption also states that the supply theory lies in the producer taking on the role of the person who takes the price. And who tells the price of the product? The market, of course. The market determines the input, and the suppliers only decide how much they need to produce given the market price. This cannot be done if the market is monopolistic. Demand. We shall move on to the second vital part of this explanation, which is understanding the demand. Demand is something we can look at from the customer's point of view. It is because, collectively, the consumers or the customers are the ones that get to control the market's demand for the object. Why is something popular? It is because consumers ask more of that product from the producers. If the demand is more than that, the product is booming and utilized by the majority of the customers. Hence, demand is always looked at best when viewing it as a consumer. As the price of a specific good hikes, its demand will increase. Since the price is now higher, not many people will afford it. Hence, increasing the price or launching an item with a high price tag isn't good if you're targeting the entire market. Let us take the same television set example in this case as well. If television sets are sold for a price of $400, then there will be many consumers that will purchase the sets. Since the cost of the television is cheap and more people can afford it, many people will be looking to buy it. On the other hand, those who have bought the TV once will be looking to buy another one. They could even buy multiple television sets and put each in a different room. This is to explain how things could go when the demand is high. The demand is usually high when things are priced reasonably or if there is a sale in which things are being sold at a discounted price. People buy stuff more than when these products are at their original price. Since everyone can afford a TV, the demand for these products will remain high. On the other hand, if the price of a television set increases by a considerable margin, then this gadget will be a rare product to own as only a few people will be able to afford it. Since it will be out of the majority's reach, only a few people will end up splashing money on it. Of course, the conditions told above take place in fixed conditions. The pure example of demand coming into play has several other conditions in place. First, product differentiation is non-existent since there is only a single type of product sold at a unified price to every consumer. Secondly, there's a closed scenario where the item is a want and it isn't an essential need, such as food. Finally, the good doesn't have a substitute in the market, and customers expect the prices of this good to remain stable going into the future. This is one thing to know, that the prices of a product cannot remain the same over time. Such a condition would be an ideal one that doesn't exist in the real world. Market equilibrium. The price structure helps supply and demand become equal to each other in a free market. If buyers purchase more products than what is present at the current price, then they will push the product's price higher. The manufacturers will decrease the prices if they are purchasing less than what is available. This price structuring is what decides how the market will function. The market state also determines which product is to be manufactured, how it will be manufactured, as well as how it is supposed to be distributed to the consumers. The condition where the supply and demand move towards the price of the equilibrium is considered to be the market mechanism. The balance between demand and supply is called market equilibrium. The quantity that measures the sensitivity of supply and demand having changes in their price is known as the price elasticity. It is calculated in economics as the change of percentage in quantity supplied to the change of percentage in price. If the commodity's price comes down by 10% and the sale of that specific commodity also manages to decrease by 20%, the elasticity in the price of that commodity will be 2. Other elasticities have been usually used to describe the economic terminologies that are well known. They have managed to have their own special names over the course of time. The demand for products that have immediately available replacements is going to be elastic because this means that this product will be quite sensitive to changes in price. This is mainly because consumers can easily interchange that product with another specific good if there's an increase in its price. The demand for a specific product may well be inelastic only if no immediate substitutes are present and if the investment in that product will only constitute a small part of the consumer's income. Supply and demand analysis can be put into use in the market for goods and services or for markets for labor, investment, and other production factors that might enter the equation. It can also come into play at the firm's level or industry at a collective level which overlooks the economy of the country. This is where things would get more flexible in supply and demand. Supply and demand are two elements that work closely together. Their relationship is thoroughly dependent on each other because of the metrics we've explained in the discussion above. The ultimate goal is to make both the factors meet at the equilibrium because when things get unstable on either end, there are inconveniences. It becomes challenging to balance both things at once, and that ends up taking a toll on the economic conditions. Since these two are the fundamentals of economics, something like this is bound to happen. The result of bringing together supply and demand into a state of equilibrium isn't possible in real life because it is a perfect situation. This is why both things vary at all times. That doesn't stop us from imagining a perfect scenario where the two are in equilibrium. What do you think would happen in this state? Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and press the bell icon for more amazing content about wealth management and finance-related videos. Success is coming your way. Keep your doors open. See ya till the next time.